Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be continuing to talk about the potential for quite severe weather across the UK this week, especially during Friday, where we're going to see Storm Eunice bring potentially very strong winds through kind of parts of Wales and southern England. We also do have Storm Dudley, though the winds for that seem to have kind of reduced from what was originally expected. That's not looking too severe at the moment. However, Storm Eunice continues to look quite concerning, and this is a graphic I made and put on my Twitter about kind of 15 minutes ago or so, and it's kind of showing the latest update and where I think we'll see the strongest winds. And you can see through this kind of orange area, which is kind of northwest Wales, southern Wales, southwest England, southern England, East Anglia, and the Midlands, just generally southern England and Wales in general. That's where I think it's going to see the strongest winds of at least 60 to 70 miles an hour. Potentially a little bit more than that, but we'll have to wait for closer to the time for kind of exact details. And then through this black line here is where we're going to see the kind of the most likely track of the storm right now. It's a bit rough. There are a few kind of variations to this, though within this kind of grey shaded area we still could see kind of the tracks could very well be kind of through here as well, potentially further north, potentially further south. If it goes further south, then the wind will be a bit weaker and a bit further south, and same for a bit further north, the wind will go further north as well. But let's get into the Met Office weather warnings. And you see, starting off from Wednesday, for Storm Dudley, we have this amber warning covering parts of southwest Scotland, northern England, and Northern Ireland. You can see, same as yesterday, basically 4 o'clock from tomorrow till basically midnight, and that's where we're seeing Storm Dudley expected to affect the UK later on Wednesday, bringing some very strong and disruptive winds. And if we read through this kind of kind of warning text, we can see inland gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour are now likely, so that's a bit less than yesterday, though possibly 80 miles an hour in a few places, and then gusts of 80 to 90 miles an hour around kind of the most exposed coast and hills for a time. And you can see this has got a medium likelihood and a medium impact. We also have that surrounding yellow warning as well, but same thing, kind of gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour in places, and it also extends a bit further south now. We could potentially see those 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts to parts of East Anglia, the Midlands, and Wales as well. And this goes from 3 o'clock tomorrow till 6 a.m. on Thursday, with those ones to be a bit further south. So you can see we have that yellow wind warning for Thursdays, which I just talked about, and then for Friday, the attention turns to Storm Eunice. So it initially starts through the early hours on Friday around midnight, and then goes till 9 p.m. and we're likely to see that it could cause some very strong winds and potentially significant disruption. This is the same warning as yesterday, but I'll just reiterate kind of the facts in it, and that is we're going to see 60 to 70 miles an hour, possibly quite widely through this region, and then perhaps even reaching 80 miles an hour inland, potentially even a bit more, especially on coasts and hills. And notice here we have a high impact but low likelihood, very low likelihood warning. However, this was issued kind of a day ago now, and in kind of confidence has increased that we will see this storm, and so I expect tomorrow we could see some upgrades to amber, and then potentially, this is just speculation, but kind of by maybe Thursday, Friday, we could even see the worst level warning, red warning. Though that's just speculation, that's my personal opinion. If we get into kind of some of the model output now, this is the UKV model from netweather.tv, and it's showing the gusts from this model Friday at 9 o'clock. And this is just giving you a taster. I'll get into all the models now, but it is showing we could see some very strong wind gusts. Look at that, 100 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour inland. This is what we kind of could be seeing. So let me get into that now a bit properly, but including Storm Dudley as well. So you can see this is the UKV model from theweatheroutlook.com. And you can see this is for Wednesday. This is kind of Storm Dudley. Sorry about that. This is Storm Dudley passing through here. Look, quite a lot of rain, potentially snow on the highest hills and mountains of Scotland. But look at those strong gusts, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour through parts of southwestern Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England. And then those gusts potentially spreading a bit further south as well. Look at that, even 50 miles an hour into kind of southern England as well. And so then we get that kind of one pot of strong winds passing through parts of southern Scotland there. Definitely a downgrade from what we were expected to see earlier, but then kind of continuing into the morning, some stronger winds as well. Then notice, if we go back to the precipitation, This is Friday, a much more robust looking storm with kind of precipitation making its way through the early hours, turning to snow potentially through Ireland, Northern Ireland, potentially Northern England. This is quite a dumping on this model run here, and then rain kind of through parts of Southern England as well, and that snow continues, but look at those ice bars, very tightly packed, bringing very strong wind gusts. If I break that down quickly, you can see originating at over 100 miles an hour off the coast of Cornwall and southwest England, Wales, and then will be transferring kind of eastwards and northwards slightly. This is just one run, by the way. There could be other solutions. See 90 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour through the Irish Sea, 100 miles an hour along the south coast, and then 70 to 80 miles an hour inland. Quite exceptional, really. And then turning again onto the winds turning to the northwest from the backside, like that. Take a look at the snow quickly, because that could be something to look at as well. Wow, quite a lot on this run, this particular run. 5 to 15 centimeters, 20 centimeters. That could be quite a lot of snow, I must say so myself. But please bear in mind that this is just one model run. This is just one model, so this is not kind of accounting for everything. This is not a definite forecast. It's one possible outcome. Looking at a similar model here from the Met Office, you can see Storm Dudley not looking to be much of a concern. Maybe some strong 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts in places, and then also those winds could extend a bit further south through Wednesday afternoon. But then again, the attention turns to Storm Eunice on Friday, like this. Like I said, kind of like the past model I just showed you, turning to snow, and also bringing some quite strong winds. Look at that, 100 miles an hour, 105 miles an hour. So kind of similar to the last model I just showed you, but with stronger winds on the backside. And then if I show you some ensembles, now we use ensembles to give us kind of a greater overall view of what the different outcomes are, because kind of run a model different times to see what with small changes in it to see if anything significant happens with the forecast, and it kind of gives you better confidence for a forecast. But you can see this is a Met Office ensemble, and you can see there's now kind of increasing confidence that we will see 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts across kind of southern England with that storm. You can see that here. Sorry. This one's a bit further north. This one's a bit further north, but this one's same thing here. Same thing here. Even 90 miles an hour on land, and this one probably a bit over the top. Same thing here. Here, 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 here. These ones are a bit further south, but you get the picture. Increasing probability of Storm Eunice, and if we take a look at an ensemble chart, this is showing us all these kind of different members, but on a chart instead of the wind gusts. And you can see here where we kind of have those spikes closer together, that's high confidence. And you can see initially starts as quite high confidence. We could even see 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts through Sunday. This could even kind of weaken some trees, fences, and then we get a second much stronger round of winds. Very good confidence on gusts between 60 to 80 miles an hour, quite a few above 70, so generally 60 to 80 miles an hour, likely around 70 miles an hour. And if we get those winds weakened earlier on, sorry, not those winds, those trees, kind of fences, this could be the final push. Similar through kind of the Midlands and more central parts of England. Even this is a better signal for 80 mile an hour wind gusts, and then in Birmingham as well, the Midlands, 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts, kind of similar picture. Looking into some other models now, this is kind of some more recent model output. This is the GFS, brings a very, very strong low and a slightly north than the last model run, but with snow through Ireland and Northern Ireland, into parts of Northern England, Scotland. This would definitely be quite a dumping with some blizzard conditions for some. If we take a look at the snow depths, well, would be quite extreme if it happened. Though please bear in mind that GFS is a low resolution model. It's not great for handling snow at all. It's really likely to be more wintry mix in there. But taking a look at those wind gusts, you can see, wow, look at that. 100 mile an hour wind gust kind of passing to the south of Ireland, funneling up the Bristol Channel like that. Not 100 miles an hour, kind of funneling up the Bristol Channel, and those spread inland, bringing kind of 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gusts across southern central England. That would be particularly damaging, likely major impacts to infrastructure, large trees falling down, structural damage. This is the arpegge model. You can see this is the latest model data, and it shows a much kind of further north and stronger system, winds 106 miles an hour to the south of Ireland there. And if we compare it, to so this is the last model, as you can see, and it was further south, but if we update it now, it's further north and stronger. Going to the ECMWF model for Storm Eunice, you can see here some snow potentially as well. But taking a look at those wind gusts, you can see strong 80 to 90 miles an hour wind gusts spreading inland like this, potentially quite disruptive, and sorry, especially on this as the winds shift round to the northwest, that's when they could possibly pack an extra punch. And then one final model for today, the Icon model. This model has been consistently further south, which is definitely definitely kind of an anomaly in the different models. But I mean, I wouldn't 100% rule it out, but it does seem quite unlikely to me. Now that is kind of it for this video. We briefly looked over Storm Dennis, not as much of a threat, but Storm Eunice is looking quite menacing and potentially even quite disruptive. This is a quick overview graphic, but if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Bye!